name as gambling playground. Have you ever wondered that? All right. So whenever you talk about stock market or stock investing, what immediately comes to a lot of people's head is, oh, gambling. You want me to gamble with my money? In such a way that even when you say, oh, invest in stock, it doesn't even, it's as if you're putting two words that should not go together. Investing and stocks, right? So, but it's important to look at how this came about, because when you understand the history, it's easier for you to know what to do next, right? So before now, long time ago, I'm talking about multiple years ago, and in some countries more than others, like the knowledge reached some country before it even reached some other countries, right? So several years before now, there was not really a methodological way of investing in stocks, right? So people felt like, yeah, stocks of a business, you just buy, you hope, you wait, and soon, you know, soon that business is going to grow, you're going to make money. Of course, because there was no method to selecting the kind of businesses to invest in and all of that, what happened was that over time, a lot of people lost money, because maybe you choose a company, the company goes bankrupt. Maybe you choose a company, the business fails, stuff like that. So it became, oh, sometimes I choose a company and it goes well, and sometimes I choose a company and it doesn't go well. How else are you going to describe something like that if it is not gambling, right? So those who describe stock investing as gambling as of then, in a way, they were correct, because that was what was prevalent. But what happened was that as time went on, some great scholars, some great thinkers came along, and they were able to find methods. Let's say they were able to find the method to the madness that was happening in the stock market, right? So it's like, some companies do well. Sometimes you invest, some companies don't do well, or the investment does not do well. What exactly is going on here? So they studied and studied and studied, thought and thought and thought, and then came up with what looks like a guideline, right? Some of those people included Benjamin Graham. I don't know if you've learned of him. He's the one who wrote the book Intelligent Investor. Before then, he wrote a book called Security Analysis, right? Talking about how to analyze stocks so that you know exactly what you're investing in, or what you're choosing to invest in, the stock you're choosing to invest in. So Benjamin Graham is one of those people in history who came in and brought some sort of methodology to the madness that was happening in the stock market. Then, of course, Benjamin Graham had some people, right? Benjamin Graham had some people that he was working with, and then he also had some proteges. One of the most successful protege of Benjamin Graham is a name you probably must have come across, which is who? Who? Guess. Warren Buffett, okay? Warren Buffett. That's the man in this book. Warren Buffett. Okay, so Warren Buffett happens to be one of the the widely known most successful protege of Benjamin Graham. So, but one good thing about Warren Buffett is that he didn't just go and copy what his master was doing. Let's just put it that way. He didn't just go and copy. Yes, he started with that, but over time as well, he started coming up with new ideas, especially with in partnership with his long-term partner of blessed memory as of when I'm doing this video, which is Charlie Munger. All right, if you study their history, you will see that Charlie Munger played a huge role in bringing new perspective that Warren Buffett now merged with what he learned from Benjamin Graham, plus his own things as well, right? And then they were able to even build bigger businesses and made greater stock investment success, right? The point is that long before Warren Buffett, there was somebody. But now, in our own time, many of us get to know who Warren Buffett is or who Charlie Munger is, right? But the main thing in relation with the topic we're talking about, which is how stock market got its scary designation as gambling ground, is that this knowledge, of course, Let's put it this way. Warren Buffett was not a content creator. Right? So Warren Buffett was not a content creator. So what happened? What happened was that he was not really out there on the internet, blowing his trumpet, trying to educate people about stock investing. That's not what he was doing. Instead, he was teaching, or he was mentoring or lecturing through his letters people that were investing with him. Do you see? So Warren Buffett was not out there teaching a lot of people. So because of that, yes, that idea of the methodology to investing in stocks profitably for a very long time, it has been there, but it's not widely known. All right. let me make this story even more funny. Seriously, I don't plan this, but then entered Dr. Linda Padua, right? And what I'm doing right now is, from all the things that Benjamin Graham taught, to the things Warren Buffett had to live and implement, to lessons from Charlie Munger. All right. So what Dr. Linda Padua is doing right now is, luckily I'm a millennial. All right. So what I'm doing right now is using the power of the internet, social media, and all of these things at our beck and call right now, to educate the people of my generation on the methodology that has been discovered on how to invest in the stock market. All right. So despite all this knowledge being available, what is really happening is that a lot of people are still speculating in the stock market. Meaning, they are not following a method. It's just like, hey, I heard of this stock. Like, do you know how many times I've gone somewhere and somebody will be like, hey, what do you have to say about NVIDIA? And I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to say about NVIDIA, right? Because maybe they just had one popular stock. NVIDIA is a stock that became so popular in 2024. All right. So, and before then, there are other stocks. They come and they go. They come and they go. Right. And what happens is that once people hear about that, what do they call it now? About that prominent stock or very popular stock, everybody's buying it. Everybody's buying it. And what's going to happen? Sooner or later, the stock is going to drop in price. Even if it's still a good stock, you may just have bought it too pricey, too expensive, that it will end up not making money. As Warren Buffett would say, he would say, a good company can still be a lousy investment if you buy the stocks of that company very, very high, very, very expensive. It can still turn out to be a bad investment, even though the company you are buying is a good company. As of when I'm making this video, that is what is happening with a lot of people when they are buying NVIDIA. All right. And just using that for example, remember, irrespective of what I'm saying now, the situation can change tomorrow. You get so a good company, for example, can become sold for a reasonable price. Anyway, the summary of it is that a lot of people in the stock market are still speculating. Tumbom, that's how they describe it, right? Ping pong, however you want to describe it, they're still speculating. And that is why people are feeling like stock market is a gambling ground, and that when you put your money there, you're likely to lose it. True, because you are speculating. If you've been invested in stock before you saw this video, the question I have for you is, take a look inside. Do you really know what you're doing? It's a personal question. Do you really know what you're doing? You bought this stock, but do you really know why you're buying those stocks? Or you bought them because a friend said it's a good stock to buy. A neighbor said it's a good stock to buy. Somebody made money buying that same stock last year. Somebody you saw on social media was talking about that stock. Is that why you bought the stock? Or you bought the stock because you looked at it, you looked at the business, you looked at their report, you looked at everything they are doing, you looked at their history, financial report, history of the financial report, to see that, oh, this is a wonderful business, and then you bought it. Which of that most likely happened? For a lot of people who will come across this video, I would bet that the first one is what happened. You heard it from a friend, you heard it on TV, and then you bought. Or something similar. Most people are still speculating in the stock market. That is why the stock market is now looked at as something that as a playground for gambling. But it doesn't have to be so. There is a better approach. So what is the better approach to to the stock market? A better approach is actually to learn how to invest in stocks before you start investing in stocks. Okay? I mean, it's sort of intuitive to learn how to invest in stocks before you start investing in stocks, right? And if you think of, I always give example with driving, right? If you're listening to this and you drive, or you know somebody who drive, remember, for most of those people, they didn't just get the key of a car, jumped into the car and started driving, hoping that they will figure it out. Let me ask you a question. If somebody did that today, somebody does not know how to drive, they just get a key, enter the car and start driving, what do you think is going to happen? Oh no, answer me, drop a comment. What do you think is going to happen if somebody does that? Think about it. Take a moment. Think about it. What somebody does not know how to drive, they just get car key, jump into the car and start driving. What do you think is going to happen? The answer is simple. They're going to have an accident. Yes, and that's what is happening to a lot of people in the stock market. They are getting accidents. And when I use the word accident, means they lose money, right? They are getting accidents, they are having accidents because they don't know how to invest in stocks. They don't know how to pick stocks, but everybody is picking stocks. Even, see, so when I say this, some people will be like, I know the secret. The secret is to do index investing or invest in ETF, as some people have said, right? But even investing in doing index investing or investing in ETF require knowledge. If not, you will either end up not making any money at all, or you will still lose money because you have gone to invest in the wrong exchange traded fund, which is shortened as ETF. So learn how to invest in stocks before you start investing in stocks, right? And to that effect, I'm going to recommend a book. So this book I'm going to recommend is I'm going to recommend a book for women, right? If you're listening to me, you're a woman, you want to learn how to invest in stocks, there's a book you can check out online, maybe on Amazon or anywhere you get your books, right? So Stock Market Mama. Stock Market Mama. Find that book, read it, your life will not remain the same. Find that book, read it, your life will not remain the same. But if you're listening to me right now and you're like, well, Dr. Linda, I'm not a book reading kind of person. Okay, I understand that because I know a lot of people, are, even when they buy books, they don't read it. Are you like that? I'm a book lover, so I understand that sometimes, right? I understand that sometimes when you are, let me put it this way. Sometimes when I'm talking about a book, I just take a step back to say, hey, remember, some people don't love books. Like this, the book I'm reading right now. You see the ones, you see the part I've read. You see the part I've read. You see my folding, and you see the part I've not read, right? And give or take, I don't know, couple of days, 2 weeks, maybe couple of days, I'm going to be done with this, and I'm going to move on to the next book. So reading books is my life, all right? So that's why I wrote a book, Stock Market Mama, all right? So find that book, read it, your life will not remain the same. However, as I was saying before, I understand that not everybody is a book lover. Not everybody is a book lover. So if you're not a book lover, you love videos, you love maybe something typed on a website, that's still okay. So you can go to this website, investonomy.com. That's www.investonomy.com. You can go to investonomy.com, right? And okay, investonomy.com/stocks. And you'll be able to see opportunity to register for a stock investing webinar. All right, you'll be able to see opportunity to register for a stock investing webinar. So do that. That means you can buy a book or you can attend a webinar that is more like video and talking and all of that, right? So that's it. That means irrespective of your kind of person, there is a way for you. And if you feel that webinar is not for you, books are not for you, the question is, what exactly is for you, right? What exactly is for you? But even aside that, you can as well watch all the videos on my channel or follow my social media handles or something. The the most important thing I want you to take away from what we are saying today is that learning how to invest in stocks before you start investing in stocks is the most rational thing to do. It is the best way to avoid losing money in the stock market. It's the best way to avoid having accidents in the stock market. And I already explained to you, if you give somebody who does not know how to drive car keys today, they jump into the car, they start driving, accident is inevitable. Worse, when they enter the highway. So a lot of people, they don't know how to invest in stock. They go into stock picking, which for me is like the highway, right? They go into stock picking. Accident is imminent. Like accident is waiting. Because why? You don't know how to drive. So how do you learn how to drive? You go, you find somebody who knows, who has been driving, making it, not having accidents, have good track or driving record. They teach you how to drive. And after that, after you have learned, then they can even work with you as you are doing your first few hours of driving, right? Then after some time, you learn how to drive, and then you can drive for several hours, go to a different town, come back all on your own, safely. That is wisdom. That's the way things should be. That's the way things should be. That's the way things should be. So I hope that we've been able to explain how the stock market got its scary designation as gambling playground for a lot of people. And you have also understood that knowledge has come to show us, to give us method, to put down methodology of sustainable way to keep investing in stocks and keep making profit year in, year out. But that people are still speculating because they've not even had the chance to go through these books to learn what those people are teaching, right? And I have explained to you to buy Stock Market Mama, because what happened is that all the knowledge I've been getting, I'm a book lover. So I read lots of books. Lots of books. That's what I do. That's like, if I want to relax, I read books, So a lot of these things I've been learning from different people, both the people that died 100 years ago and more, or several years ago or more, dead and alive. I've distilled them in a way that is very easy for you to understand. And that is what you find in Stock Market Mama, all right? Especially for women, because it has something to also talk about when it comes to like stock market and women, and why women should be investing right now. But you can go for that webinar and learn. Okay? So take good care of yourself until I see you again. My name is Dr. Linda Pajuel, and I am the CEO and founder of Investonomy, a social enterprise that is into educating more women on how to invest in stocks, and more women on how to use stock investing profits to make their life easier, to mitigate some of the things that motherhood may bring along. So anyway, get the book or attend the webinar. Anyone is fine. But no matter what, learn how to invest in stocks before you start investing in stocks, to avoid stock market accidents, okay? Take care.